refereeing scandal. So one guy actually placed over 1,000 bets.
So if we want to talk about it, it's the unregulated.
And welcome to this edition of Off the Bar with me, a direct descendant of Vincent van Gogh, and Colin, Kazim, Richard, as always. ¿Qué tal? ¿Todo bien?
Está bien.
One of the subjects that I wanted to touch on was, well, not touch on, we're going to absolutely cuddle it ferociously, is the Turkish refereeing scandal. So it's been around about a decade since the last Turkish scandal. Previous one, 2011, horrific match fixing. Turkish Federation, we're going to clean up football. It's not going to happen again. Now, on Monday, it was revealed that of the 500 or so Turkish referees, that 300 and something of them have active betting accounts. 150 of them or so placed bets this year, and I think it was 7 top flight officials and 14 top flight assistants are in this mix. In the last few years, I think it was a couple of years ago, was it Ankara Gökçe, the president, basically went onto the pitch after he had perceived there to be some terrible decisions and punched the referee square in the face. We had Jose Mourinho at Fener, who recently said, my employers didn't warn me enough. They didn't tell me how bad it was. When you were playing in Turkey, did you ever get the feeling something wasn't quite right? Looking back now.
Looking back now. Yeah, looking back now, maybe. You know, it's quite tough when you're in it. Like when you're in it and you're playing and things are going against you constantly. You don't think to yourself, oh, you know what, he must be... he's match fixing. That's not the first thing that comes to mind. But
that's the thing. It's just, I think we should clear up as well. At the moment, nobody has been...
It's not been proven.
...charged with anything. Well, they have proven that they've got a load of... Accounts, okay? And they've also proven that, you know, a couple... I think one guy actually placed over 1,000 bets in the past couple of years. So I think he's quite proactively gambling. Now, if any of those happen to coincide with... you know, the matches that they were officiating on, there's a question of
there is a massive question
of honesty there.
But can I say something though? For me, it's always been my pet beef is, and not just this. There's a few others, right? Is that all these clubs can benefit from all these betting companies? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a massive sort of social issue, should we say?
Yeah, and then players, match officials, presidents, directors, and that. It's an issue now if they've got betting accounts. Do you understand what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the clubs, FIFA, organisations, FAs, they can all be sponsored by betting companies.
Full stop. Should a ref be allowed to bet? Should a full-time referee who's being paid, who's, you know, should they be allowed to bet full stop? Why the need?
No, I'm not trying to justify anything, right? I don't think they should be able to bet. But I just don't think, like, the betting companies should then be main sponsors on clubs and all of that.
There's no alternative. There's no alternative to finance football to that extent without gambling. It's not going to be financed by anybody else. So it's there to stay. And, you know, a sponsor is a sponsor is a sponsor. You know, you can look at the ethics of anything, but it's obviously a product that we all love and nothing's changed. It's not new to have gambling within football. It's always been a part of it.
It's big now, though, isn't it?
But it's getting, I think it's that unregulated side. I mean, I read something about the...
And that's what it is in Turkey. So if we want to talk about it, it's the unregulated...
Well, that's what I was thinking is that, okay, listen, they've got all these regulated bets and everything like that. What about the unregulated gambling sites that are, you know... And
how do you find that out?
You can't.
No, but so all these numbers are...
All these numbers are really just the tip of the iceberg as far as I'm concerned. Because what this means in itself is that if the referees themselves have relationships with gambling. You know, if we go back to the 2000s, for example, and we look at the former Yugoslav states and that, Serbia, Croatia, there was some particularly questionable matches. If we look at certain leagues around the world,
there's a lot in Australia, isn't there?
At the moment, yeah, there's horrific abuse, I would say,
But I tell you something.
of the honesty of the system.
I'll tell you something, sir. When I was playing, if we had Junaid Çakır, do you remember him?
No.
He's like one of the Turkish referees, always in the Champions League. Small, not much hair. I knew, you know what, yeah. I liked to have him as a referee. He was very impartial. You know what I mean? He was a good referee, what it was, where it wasn't. If we had other referees, we knew just because of how Turkey is, like, you know, there's groups.
What do you mean? Explain to me how
political.
Turkey is. Explain to me,
Turkey
because
it's political. There's groups. It's the culture, and this is what I've said loads of time. You know, so much of the culture, of Turkish culture, Turkish politics, especially the politics, is in football. You know, and it's very what's the word I'm looking for? Seb, come and help me out. It kills the game. It kills the development. It kills
because there's so much politics involved.
So this is politics, and we're not talking about football politics, like literal country politics. You understand?
And that's because
which party this, which party that.
That's because the owners of the clubs are also influential people within the country, right?
And and this is what I say. Like,
do you have foreign ownership in Turkey?
You have one now, Göztepe. It's run really well.
But
Göztepe
generically
is owned
speaking,
by the same group as Southampton. It's run very well, and they're doing amazing, by the way. Big shout out to Göztepe.
Başakşehir as well.
Başakşehir is
City
partly owned by Citigroup, or there's like a friendship or whatever it is. But away from that, no. One thing I want to tell people why it's like this, right, is because Turkish football is driven by owners who actually put their own hand in their pocket and pay. So your salaries are coming out. It's not coming out of what the club has generated. You know. So
have you been paid in cash before?
Yes.
You go to the president's office and you pick up your bag?
Yeah, like the bonuses. A lot of
what
bonuses.
What kind of bags were they, by the way?
Envelope.
The envelope, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Just out of interest. No, some in Ukraine.
Allegedly. Let me tell you that.
No, just in Dynamo Kiev, back in the day, what used to happen was Vladimir and Igor Serkis, the club presidents, would have, I think it was on a Friday or whatever it is, you got paid weekly basically. They'd run out of envelopes, I think, and they just gave it to you in a plastic carrier bag.
Lovely.
So, you know, each country's got its idiosyncrasies.
Each country's got its own, because, you know, like, you can go in Turkey and you can just put as much cash as you want in the bank. It's not a problem. It's not like here. You go and you put, what is it, 9 grand?
10, yeah, 10 limit, yeah.
And then they're calling the police and you need to prove and etc. Like, in Turkey now, you got that? Yeah, come.
Did you do a Scrooge McDuck thing ever, where you just lay it around in the
No,
money?
Seb, I valued my money. Thank you.
But
yeah, so to give you the context of things, that's why it can then be controlled.
Yeah. Okay.
Because these owners, it's coming from their pocket. Like, if he ain't got, it's not like that. If he ain't got money, you might not get paid. Or if he's having a bad day, might not get paid.
Injured.
Or if you're not
bad
playing
weather.
well, might not get paid. And we laugh. I can sit here and laugh about it, but I tell you what, when you're in it,
it's not pleasant, right?
It's not pleasant, because it's always on your mind. That payday comes out. Oh, when am I getting paid?
So if you're adding that sort of payday lottery, shall we say, the very, very brutal match fixing.
When I was playing it, though, I like to say this, I'm not gonna sit here and just jump on a bandwagon. There was no like situation, or even though like they tried to say that I was one time. You know, like 2000, like you're saying, 2011, and that's how, like, this make-up story, like, that's how I went to Galatasaray and etc. etc. Do you know what I mean? With all that stuff. Not, you know what, let me rephrase that. Not that they tried to say I was. There was a question by just some stupid guy. You understand?
What was the question, just out of interest?
Is Colin Chasm a part of it? You understand? But that's more of selling papers.
I know it's more selling papers, and it's sensationalist headline, basically, with somebody who at the time was a prevalent figure within clubs to destabilise the other clubs and just throw some crap around, right? How did it feel to be named, though? To have your integrity
being in Turkey, like, listen, if you don't want your integrity questioned, don't go to a big club in Turkey.
Because it's going to happen.
Let me explain something to you about Turkish media. You guys here try to say that this media is tough. It is 0.000001 compared to what Turkish media is, and even if that's a number, even lower. Because let me explain to you how Turkish media is. Turkish media can create a story, put it in the papers. No one puts their name to it.
No one takes accountability, basically, yeah?
You can't. There's
just a throwing a stone and running away.
You get a lawyer, which I've done many times, to go and make them retract it, and they say, it's not written by anyone. No one's names it. Even though it's in that paper. Imagine that. Imagine the Mirror. They print a bit.
I didn't know how I got there.
Don't know how I got there. That's actual law. So when they're making up, you can tell which ones are the made up stories, because the ones that are real stories, the guys put their name there. They want credit for it.
They want the credit for the research and the story that they've written.
Research, great story. When there's no name to it, you know it's absolute BS. Do you understand? And I've been there, and there was situations where I sued like a paper here. We won't mention who they are. It's not a great paper, right? I Bilder.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Bilder in German?
Yeah.
L'Equipe.
Yes,
all of those,
my boys.
Yeah, your people. Yeah, and I won.
Yeah,
and I got retracted, and I got compensation, which was hardly anything compared to what I had to pay out to the lawyer. But like you said, it's integrity, right? Mm-hmm. It's principles.
That must really suck, basically, to have to pay to prove that you're not a douchebag. Yeah. You know what I mean? And there was no action that you did.
Because then people are like, well, why don't you say something? If it's a lie, say something. You just get tired of it, bro. You get tired of it. For what?
Because you know it's going to come out again, right? There's something else.
Yeah. What do I need to... That's why I just stopped talking to media and had no relationship with media. And then I became... I wasn't easily accessible.
No, I mean, so when you were playing, you had a bit of a reputation for being a bit of a closed book.
100%.
Distant.
Because you learn. Yeah, what am I giving you my number for? And then you make up stuff, and then, I got his number. It must be true. Or
anytime you were approaching a journalist, your head went back slightly and your eyes went, right?